Now, I'll start by saying anybody who has a child knows you worry about your child's education. And anyone who disagrees with me is either lying or deluded, right? We're all scared because, especially nowadays, the opportunities are reducing. The skills that our kids need to live in the modern world, like critical thinking, public speaking, social and emotional literacy, all of those skills are going down because our kids are growing up on screens, not learning those skills that we all probably learned from our friends at school. At the same time, those skills, the value of those skills is going up because of AI and automation. So how do we bridge that gap? Well, we do that with LinkyThinks. We teach your children life skills, like I mentioned earlier, alongside the topics that they have to learn at school, like creative writing, comprehension, vocabulary, spelling, punctuation and grammar. And we've done that with our platform, LinkyThinks.com. We do it through online tutoring, through digital downloadable learning resources, and various other revenue streams. And to date, we have generated, since we launched the MVP in January, 120,000 in annual recurring revenue, and we're raising £1 million EIS to scale that further. To date, we are 10% committed, and we are looking for investors to join us on our journey. I think that's been good for a minute, right?
That's pretty good.
Wonderful, thank you very much. Any questions?
Thank you, Dan. I think these skills are really a cornerstone for kids.
Yes.
So these soft skills. If anyone has any questions to that? Yes, you have one here.
What's their age group?
So primary school age children are equivalent throughout the English-speaking world. So I typically say between 7 and 13, depending on the need or the ability of the child.
And could you give me like an example of what do you offer, with taking what they learn in school into real life?
Absolutely. So firstly, I'd say pull out all of your mobile phones and scan your QR code so you can play with it for yourself and have a look at our deck. But a great example would be our digital downloadables. Yes, we trademarked that word somehow. We've got a whole library, a personalised journey library of digital downloadable content for you as a parent or as a teacher to use with a child that would be curriculum adjacent for, let's say, comprehension. So you have text with questions and model answers for the teacher to go through, except instead of being a bog standard, like boring comprehension that you'd see anywhere at any other learning provider, this would tie in with a skill. So it might be how to handle being bullied at school. It might be media literacy, how to distinguish between facts and opinions when reading something. So we've got a whole host of different skills associated with different curriculum requirements. Or it might be something as simple as grammar in a sentence. So we have these little learning videos to help you as a parent or your child understand proper English grammar. Like, say, when do you use and me versus and I in a sentence? Does anybody know? Mm-hmm. So John and I went to the park. John and me went to the park. Which one is the right one? Well, you remove the other person from the sentence and see if it makes sense. Me went to the park. No, it must be John and I went to the park. Well, there's a picture of Steve and me. There's a picture of Steve and I. Which one? Remove Steve. There's a picture of I. No, it must be there's a picture of Steve and me. 2 million views on TikTok. We suddenly get an influx of users onto the platform. So we put a variety of free educational content like that out into the world, pulling people into the platform. I hope that answers your question. I kind of went off on that. Anyone else?
You have one last question. I think you explained it really well for everyone.
So, have you affiliated yourself with schools?
So this is something I should have addressed in my 60-second pitch. It is primarily a B2C marketing model, although it has a B2C and B2B model for how we actually generate revenue. So if anybody here has ever tried to sell anything to a school, you'll realise there are 17 layers of gatekeepers and they have no money. Even the private schools, they will tell you they have no money. So how do we sell to a school that might have a ridiculously high lifetime value? We go through the teachers, we go through the parents. So we go in and do a workshop at the school for free, and the teachers sign on themselves, because 94% of primary school teachers throughout the English-speaking world spend their own money on learning resources to use in the classroom. 33% of parents, 19% of parents spend money on private tuition, and we capture both of those. So we go in through the parents and the teachers and ultimately get the schools, so we're working with all of them. But if I were to say of the 3,500 or so users of our platform now, today, about 48% of them are teachers, 49% of them are parents, and the remainder are schools. But that ratio will change the longer we're on the market, the more people we get in front of.
Thank you, Dan.
Thank you.
Thank you.